Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Muchos de ustedes me han dejado saber que no tienen con quién practicar para la entrevista de la ciudadanía, por eso decidí hacer videos como este en el cual estamos simulando cómo es una entrevista. El día de hoy vamos a practicar cómo se hace la parte de las preguntas personales. En lo personal, pienso que es una de las partes más importantes durante la entrevista porque es obvio que uno debe de saber identificar las preguntas personales y más responderlas. Muchas veces estas preguntas dictaminan la dirección de la entrevista. Si el oficial ve que te desenvuelves bien entendiendo y respondiendo a estas preguntas, créeme, no te hará muchas preguntas durante la N400. Pero si él ve que con las preguntas personales, que en teoría debieras de manejar como si nada, estás batallando, te va a empezar a hacer más preguntas durante la N400 para comprobar tu entendimiento y tu manera de hablar inglés. Por eso el día de hoy vamos a practicar juntos las preguntas personales. Ya sabes, si este tipo de videos te están sirviendo y quieres ayudar al canal, es muy sencillo, simplemente ayúdame con un like. De esta manera ayudas a que esta información se difunda por la plataforma y le llegue a más personas que como tú están interesadas en el tema. También recuerda seguirme en mi cuenta de la ciudadanía que tengo en Instagram, ciudadanía_ahora. En esta cuenta podrás mandarme mensajes. También encontrarás que en Instagram vienen personas a narrarnos entre semana cómo fue su entrevista y resulta muy interesante. Entonces te invito, ciudadanía_ahora. La dinámica de este video será la siguiente. Yo te voy a hacer la pregunta en inglés simulando como una entrevista y te daré un espacio para que tú respondas. En este video no hablaré nada de español ni te voy a traducir. Ya tengo muchos videos traduciendo las preguntas personales, los puedes ir a ver, pero este es más bien para que tú practiques ya que no tienes con nadie con quien practicar. Te recomiendo que esto lo practiques todos los días hasta que te desenvuelvas bien con las preguntas personales. Muy bien, comencemos. Hi, do you understand why you're here today? Tell me, why do you want to become a U.S. citizen? Do you understand what an oath is? Can you please raise your right hand? Do you swear or affirm that the statements you will give today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God? Please take a seat. Can I see your permanent resident card and your passport? Tell me, since when are you a permanent resident? What is your full legal name? Have you used a different name before? What was the reason of you using a different name? Do you want to legally change your name? What is your height and your weight? What is your phone number? Can you please provide me your date of birth? Where were you born? Are you still a citizen of that country? What is your current address? For how long have you been living at this address? What is your previous address? For how long did you live at this previous address? Since you submitted your application, has your address changed? Are either your parents U.S. citizens? What is the color of the wall behind you? Were your parents married before your 18th birthday? Tell me, are you currently employed? How do you support yourself? Since when are you working at this place? What do you do in your job? What was your job in your country? Have you traveled out of the United States in the last 5 years? Where did you travel and how many times? And what was the reason for visiting that place? How many days did you spend in total in all your trips? Do you remember the last time that you traveled out of the United States? Can you please tell me the date that you depart? And when was the date that you came back? How many days you were out of the country in that trip? Since you submitted your application, have you traveled out of the United States? What is the color of the wall that is to your right? What is the color of the ceiling? What is your marriage status? How many times have you been married? Is your spouse a U.S. citizen? What is your spouse's name? Do you have any children? Are either of your children U.S. citizens? Can you please provide me the name of your children? What is your relationship with your children? Have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen? Why not? Have you ever registered to vote in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Why not? Have you ever voted in any federal, state, or local election in the United States? Why not? Do you now have, or did you ever have, inheritance title or an order of nobility from any foreign country? Have you ever been declared legally incompetent or been confined into a mental institution? What is a mental institution? Do you owe any overdue federal, state, or local taxes? Have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you become a permanent resident? Have you ever called yourself a non-U.S. resident on a federal, state, or local tax return since you become a permanent resident? Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or any way associate with any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in other location in the world? Have you ever been a member or any way associate with the Communist Party? What is communism? Have you ever been involved in a totalitarian party? How about a terrorist organization? Have you ever advocated the overthrow of any government by force or violence? What is overthrow? Have you ever persecuted any person because of race, religion, national origin, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion? What is persecute? Between March 23, 1933 and May 8, 1945, do you work for or associate in any way with the Nazi government of Germany? Were you ever involved in any way with any of the following? Genocide. What is genocide? Torture. Killing or trying to kill someone. Badly hurting or trying to hurt a person on purpose. Forcing or trying to force someone into have any kind of sexual contact or relations. Not letting someone practice his or her religion. What is religion? Were you ever a member of, or did you ever serve in, help, or otherwise participate in any of the following groups? Military unit, paramilitary unit, police unit, self-defense unit, vigilant unit, rebel group. What is a rebel group? Have you ever been a member of guerrilla group? What is a guerrilla group? Were you ever a member of a militia? What is a militia? Were you ever a member of insurgent organization? Were you ever a worker, volunteer, or soldier? Or did you otherwise ever serve in any of the following: prison or jail, prison camp, a detention facility, a labor camp, any other place where people were forced to stay? Were you ever a part of any group, or did you ever help any group, unit, organization that used a weapon against any person or threatened to do so? What is a weapon? Did you ever sell, give, or provide weapons to any person, or help another person sell, give, or provide weapons to any person? Did you ever receive any type of military or paramilitary training? Did you ever recruit, enlist, conscript any person under 15 years of age to serve in or help in armed force group? Did you ever use any person under 15 years of age to do anything that help or support people in combat? Have you ever committed, assisted in commit, or attempt to commit a crime or offense for which you were not arrested? What is a crime? Have you ever been arrested, cited, or detained by any law enforcement officer? What is arrested? Have you ever been charged with committed, attempting to commit, or assisting in commit a crime or offense? Have you ever been convicted of a crime or offense? Have you ever received a suspended sentence, been placed in probation, or been paroled? What is parole? Have you ever been in prison or jail? What is a prison or jail? Have you ever been a habitual drunkard? What is a habitual drunkard? Have you ever been a prostitute or procured anyone for prostitution? What is prostitution? Have you ever sold controlled substances, illegal drugs, or narcotics? Have you ever been married to more than one person at the same time? Have you ever married someone in order to obtain immigration benefits? Have you ever helped anyone to enter the United States illegally? Have you ever gambled illegally or received income from illegal gambling? Have you ever failed to support your dependents or pay alimony? Have you ever made any misrepresentation to obtain any public benefit in the United States? Have you ever given any U.S. government official any information that was false, fraudulent, or misleading? Do you understand what false is? What is false? Have you ever lied to any U.S. government official to gain entry or admission into the United States? Have you ever been removed, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been ordered to remove, excluded, or deported from the United States? Have you ever been placed in removal, exclusion, rescission, or deportation proceedings? Are removal, exclusion, or deportation proceedings currently pending against you? What is deportation? Have you ever served in the U.S. Armed Forces? Are you a male who lived in the United States between your 18th and 26th birthday? Do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? What is the Constitution? What is the form of government of the United States? Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? What is the oath of allegiance? Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? What is to bear arms on behalf of the United States? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combat services in the U.S. Armed Forces? Can you please give me an example of a non-combat services in the U.S. Armed Forces? If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian directions? Can you please give me an example? Thank you. Please review all the information is correct. If everything is correct, sign and print your name. Muy bien, amigos, esto sería todo el video. Voy un poquito rápido porque la entrevista así va a ser. Tú tienes la opción de detener el video, ve a hacerlo de nuevo, practícalo varias veces, todas las ocasiones que puedas, porque este video te va a ayudar a que domines toda la entrevista. Recuerda, ayúdame a darle like si no lo has hecho. Suscríbete a mi canal también, sígueme en Instagram y ve a ver cualquiera de estos dos videos si te pueden ayudar a practicar mejor. Muy bien, que esté muy bien, toda la suerte del mundo para su entrevista.